gracious welcome to another edition of Pet Talk with Dr. Lee. We're joined once again with Dr. Lee.
Good to see you.
Good to see you also. And, you know, you've been in a lot of county events lately, I hear.
Yes.
And, one was the run in...
on Sunday.
Yes, on Broad Street.
On Broad Street. We had a run for the Browning Ross race. It's a scholarship run that benefits Woodbury High School. That was 9:30 in the morning. In order to promote Gloucester County's Dancing with the Stars, I ran in a tuxedo.
Okay. We actually have footage of that. We're going to go right now. Dr. Lee, how did you make out during the race running in a tuxedo?
I thought it worked out real well. It was a little hot, but I got a great reaction from the crowd. I got a lot of thumbs up. I got an award for the best dressed runner.
What makes you come out to these events and you know, show support?
Well, I like to run anyway, so I like this particular race because it supports the Browning Ross race, which was for a scholarship for Woodbury High. But in addition, it gives me a chance to promote Dancing with the Gloucester County Stars.
What you're dancing for, our channel?
Gloucester County Educational Network, Channel 5, Verizon Channel 34.
Any other events that you're going to be doing?
Oh, a lot of events. We're going to have another fundraiser at Gloucester County Institute of Technology in September. Obviously, we've got the dancing. We've got a lot of other ones that are going to be promoted. They'll be listed on the television network itself.
So I see you got a medal there. How'd you make out during the race?
Picked up second place in my age category. That would be 32nd overall out of about 160 runners. And
your age category was 35 to 40?
That's what I'm telling everybody, but it's actually 60 to 65.
Okay, all right. You don't look it. You're good to go.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Man, that was a beautiful day out that day.
It was a really nice event. And then afterwards, we had a whole block party there.
Yeah, it was very nice. And before we go into that, though, I want to ask you, you're in the Gloucester County Stars, Dancing with the Gloucester County Stars. Tell us about that some more.
I'm dancing in the Dancing with the Gloucester County Stars. There are 6 dancers there, each dancing for a different charity. People will watch us dance, and hopefully they'll select one or the other as their favorite, and they vote for us by sending money to the charity that we're dancing for. In my case, it is this network right here, Gloucester County Educational Network. I feel it's an important thing for people to contribute to because it serves the local community so well. It's really the eyes on Gloucester County. It spotlights activities in the high schools, local parades, events like the one at Main Street that we just had, events at Gloucester County Institute of Technology and Gloucester County College. I think it's really important that people support it because it really gets no funds other than that. And it's a very important part of Gloucester County. Very important part, and
I went to the school where it's housed at. I went to GCIT. I'm a graduate of it, and I have a strong opinion that it is worth it, and it teaches kids a lot about different aspects in the television field, and it gives kids aspects to the chance to show off their talents.
It's putting on performing arts. They'll have shows with the local athletics, football, wrestling, swimming. All of that shows up on this. Going back to Broad Street and the block party they had there in Woodbury, I know right after the race you went to get something to eat. Yes, I did.
But we went around and we asked questions to different business owners and restaurant owners, and I interviewed them on the street, so we're going to take a look at that. What are you trying to do to bring back Broad Street and Woodbury to make it mainstream again?
Well, Main Street is an organization that works strictly with volunteers, and we have 4 different committees that work with the design of the buildings and the facades. We work with trying to help the merchants with more resources to grow their businesses. We do things at an organization committee that takes care of our fundraising and things like that. And then we have a promotions committee that does things like today with the block party. So what we're all trying to do as volunteers and members of Main Street is to bring new life back here to Woodbury, to entice more businesses to come in and see how great we are, to see what a great community community we have, what a multicultural community we have that can reach out to so many different types of people.
Now, are you guys having a lot of events a year, or?
We'll host about 12 events, this one being one of the major ones. We have another huge one coming up in September that it stands to be one of the biggest things for the area. It's an arts festival that's going to be coming here September 29th, and that'll close down Railroad Avenue overnight. That'll be a one full day Saturday deal, and then we have over 250 artisan vendors coming to that.
How do you like today's event? Is it helping you out any?
It's excellent. A lot of people coming to check the town again, and that's something very good. It's a very good event.
Tell us about your restaurant.
We have our restaurant open from 7 a.m. till 10 p.m. We serve breakfast, lunch, dinner all day. Our breakfast specializes in everything. We have a chef on duty, baker on duty, and we use everything fresh. 99% of our product is prep on site.
That's good. A lot of people are looking for that. And is it BYOB, or is it, you know?
Yes, yes it is.
How long have you been in business?
We've been here 9 months now. We just celebrated our anniversary last week, and real excited. This is our first Woodbury Main Street Fair that we've been open for. We tried to open last year, but we were inside doing construction and we weren't in time.
Understandable. And is this, you feel this is helping your business? You get a lot of response from it so far?
It's a great way to promote our business, for people to be walking by and seeing what we have to offer. We have our menus out here. We're doing a sampling. We're offering one of our appetizers that people could buy. We're open for brunch now on Sundays, so if anybody wanted to come in, we had some people sit outside. So yeah, anything where it brings people out to show that businesses are alive and things are happening, Woodbury is great.
Now, what are your hours of operation regularly?
We just changed our hours. We're open now for dinner Wednesday through Sunday, lunch Tuesday through Friday, and we're open on brunch on Sunday as well.
And what time is brunch?
Brunch goes from 10 to 3, and then we go right into dinner from 3 to 10. And all summer long, it's all you can eat Dungeness crabs and pasta dinner for $35 a person.
So how's the reaction of the public, you know, to this event? Is it going over well? Do they like it?
All I can tell you is I see a lot of smiles. The kids are having a good time. We've got lots of stuff here for them. So far, everybody seems to be real positive. They're enjoying it, and we couldn't have asked for better weather.
All right, that was interesting. But let's get to the real reason we're here, to talk about pets and different pet problems and stuff like that. Yeah. We have a lot of questions that come in from our viewers and people from your veterinarian office. But me personally, I had a lot of questions about poisons for your animals and stuff like that, that are poisonous to them, about chocolate and stuff like that. Is it really poisonous?
It actually is. This is more for dogs than for cats. Cats are very picky and generally will not eat things like chocolate unless they're little kittens. But dogs will eat chocolate. And although we think of chocolate as just some sort of semi-addictive, really great tasting treat, it is actually a stimulant. And for dogs, it is a very powerful stimulant. The darker the chocolate, actually the more dangerous it is. So if you had a very light milk chocolate, it probably wouldn't be very toxic to the dog. But if it's a dark chocolate, it is more so, and obviously the smaller the dog, the less they have to ingest. When they show toxicity from it, when they get sick from it, typically they will have excitatory problems. So they may have seizures, they may get heart palpitations, and either one can be severe enough to potentially be fatal. So if your dog's ingested chocolate, you want to first find out what kind of chocolate, maybe get the wrapper, figure out how much he ate. Did he eat a whole bar of it? Did he just eat a little square? And then call the veterinarian and find out whether your dog's actually had enough to create a problem, or whether it's just going to be maybe a tiny tummy ache or maybe nothing at all.
Now, what are the usual warning signs that your dog has ingested chocolate, though?
Well, for most people, really, it's pretty obvious. The chocolate's all over the place. There's a mess. Okay. There's chocolate on the face. The wrappers are all over the place. So usually it's that. Yeah, and then what you do is you call and you make some sort of an estimate as to how much the dog actually ingested.
Yeah.
I suppose a dog could come in just with a history of seizures, and one of the questions we'll ask, is there any chance that he ate any chocolate? Which is one of our standard questions if a dog has seizures.
Okay.
But in general, we usually have some sort of indication that the dog actually ate something.
Ate something. Now, is there any other foods that we have to worry about? I know there's some like things like grapes, onions, or something like that.
Right.
I hear sometimes.
Onions and garlic in high amounts could cause problems. I don't think if a dog ate a slice of onion or a cat ate a little part of a clove of a garlic, it would be a problem. But people like to give garlic especially as supplements. And sometimes people go overboard with it, thinking that a little bit would make them healthy and a lot would make them really healthy. And what they'll do is they'll poison their cat or dog with garlic. Garlic actually can cause anemia if it's given in too high a quantity. But that's kind of an owner-induced problem. I doubt a cat would eat anything like that on its own.
Okay.
Now, grapes are another problem. We never thought of grapes as a poison. But recently there was information out of California of a number of dogs that died of kidney failure after eating grapes and even after eating raisins. There haven't been enough studies to know what the amount would be to be toxic. And we really don't know if it's just a couple individuals that have a funny reaction to it, or whether it's really got a toxic principle, or whether none of it's even true. But for now, I'm not feeding my dog grapes, and I'm not giving him raisins, which I did up until that information was available.
Yeah. Now, you were saying some owners give their pets garlic as a supplement. Is a little bit of garlic, does it have health benefits to them?
I think there are people who feel so. I'm not probably one of them. I don't think it makes much difference. It hasn't been shown to really prevent fleas. It is something of an antioxidant, so perhaps a tiny bit of it would be fine.
Okay.
But I don't know of any real significant health benefits from taking garlic.
Okay. We had some other questions come in, a lot pertaining to rat poison. And is it really that dangerous for dogs and cats?
It's very dangerous.
Very dangerous.
The rat poisons vary. There are different kinds, but the kind that's most popular is a derivative of warfarin. Warfarin builds up in the body, damages the liver, and prevents the liver from utilizing vitamin K. The vitamin K then, the lack of vitamin K, will cause the animal at some point to bleed to death.
Okay.
The rat usually has to visit the rat poison a number of times to accumulate enough to kill it. But the bait is usually really good tasting grain. Now, a cat probably won't eat it, but a dog certainly will. And if a dog eats enough, especially of the newer forms of warfarin that are far more powerful, he could, in one ingestion, potentially get enough to cause a bleeding problem. They usually don't bleed when they eat it. It won't be for some time afterwards. There is a treatment for it. It's vitamin K.
Okay.
As long as the dog's not bleeding yet. If they're already bleeding, they may need blood transfusions, a lot of supportive care to get through the episode. Sometimes people wonder whether or not the mouse or the rat itself would be poisonous after it's poisoned with these.
Yeah. Yeah, so we had some questions about that too. Go ahead.
And actually, that isn't a problem. The vitamin K has already done the damage in the rat or mouse so that it bleeds internally and it's weakened. The cat or dog that eats it shouldn't be getting much vitamin K out of that. They'll just eat a weakened mouse or rat.
So it's the vitamin K
that's destroyed.
That's destroyed, okay.
And vitamin K is necessary for blood clotting.
Okay, all right. How about antifreeze? I've seen the label and it says poisonous on it.
Very poisonous. It forms oxalate crystals which build up in the kidneys and tear it up, really. Severe kidney toxin. The real problem with antifreeze is that it's very sweet. Apparently, I haven't tasted it, but it tastes really good. So it's a danger to children or to dogs. Cats usually don't have such a sweet tooth, so usually they're not going to fall for it.
Yeah, I heard that cats don't like sweets.
No, not usually.
Are mushrooms poisonous now?
Mushrooms, there's a saying about mushrooms, about hunting mushrooms, that there are old mushroom hunters, there are bold mushroom hunters, but there are no old, bold mushroom hunters. Mushrooms vary. Some are not poisonous, some are. I wouldn't know the difference. If I want a mushroom, I go to the supermarket. But dogs won't necessarily pay attention to that. And once again, it's usually dogs, not cats, that are going to eat mushrooms. Okay. And if they do, there are a lot of poisonous principles in mushrooms. Some are hallucinogens, some just make them vomit badly.
Now, I had a question. I know that, you know, they might eat mushrooms and stuff like that, but I notice my dog a lot of times will go outside and start eating the grass, and they get sick.
Right.
Why are they eating the grass to begin with?
All right, that's a whole good question, and I'll give you a speculation on it.
Okay.
Okay? This is a speculation.
Okay.
If you were a wolf, if you were a wild dog, one of the primary things that you're going to have that's going to upset your gastrointestinal tract, your stomach and your intestines, are intestinal parasites.
Okay.
So you'd like to see if you could get rid of them sometimes. And if you're a wild animal, you always have some parasites. So what you might think of doing is eating some grass. Grass has sharp edges. It has, it can't be digested by the dog. And so it goes down undigested and scrapes its way down the intestines, irritating the intestines and stomach as it goes down, which is no big benefit for the dog. However, it may also scratch up the surface of the worm. Now worms, we've talked about this once before, worms hide themselves from the dog's immune system by making sure that their surface looks like basically it's part of the dog. So the dog's immune system, the white blood cells, just slide past the worm thinking, oh, this is part of me. In this case, with the worm's coat scraped, we can find that the white blood cells would actually be able to find worm proteins down inside, inside the surface and attack. So the worm gets attacked, becomes sick, and some of them get thrown off.
Okay.
So I suspect that eating grass is part of the dog's natural way of worming itself.
Okay.
Not very effective, not really very good, and we've got much better ways of worming a dog. So it's one of those instincts that helped dog maybe 20,000 years ago, but isn't of much value in the last 10, 20 years.
Yes. Any new poisons that animals and your pet owners should be aware of for their animals?
There's two that have recently been mentioned. One is xylitol. It's found in sugarless gum. Tastes great, no calories. Is wonderful for people. Unfortunately, in dogs, what it will do is it will stimulate the pancreas to produce a lot of insulin. In other words, it not only confuses the tongue and makes you think you've had sugar, it confuses the pancreas. The pancreas then shoots out a whole lot of insulin. This drives down the sugar, but there is no sugar. So the dog's blood sugar drops real low, and they have what's called a hypoglycemic event. They can have seizures. They really get sick. And if they survive that, it then damages the liver, and they often go into liver failure. So sugarless gum, which seems like a nothing, is actually quite toxic to dogs, at least the ones with xylitol.
Now, how much will it take to do that to a dog? How much would it need to ingest for that to happen?
I understand very little.
Very little. Okay.
Right. I'd really avoid that one. That seems to be a real danger, especially for the smaller dogs.
Okay.
Even the larger dogs are at risk for that. It doesn't take 10 packs of it. Just a little bit.
Just a little bit.
It's really toxic for
them.
Wow. The other new poison is another thing that seems quite pleasing. It's chocolate mulch. This is a dark, beautiful, great smelling mulch. It really seems nice. The problem is it's tempting to dogs. They will eat this mulch, and they'll have chocolate toxicity out of it.
It actually has like the smell of chocolate?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, to a person, it's heaven, but
yeah.
It's not safe for dogs.
Not safe for dogs. So don't get chocolate mulch if you have a dog.
Right. Now, that's not just brown mulch. That's chocolate mulch. I'm sure it's more expensive.
Yeah, probably. Now, are there other types of poisons out there that we should be aware of for animals? Like,
yes. I'll show you something.
Okay.
This is a child-proof container.
Okay.
It's child-proof.
I probably can't get open.
I probably couldn't either.
Yeah.
But a dog can. It is not a dog-proof container. Dog takes one look at that, takes his mouth, chomps it, breaks it in half, and eats whatever's in it. So you need to make sure all your medicines in your house are kept away from dogs.
Up high.
Because there's a lot of unintentional over-medication of dogs where people just have their medicine right at their bedstand so they can have easy access to it, and the dog eats 10, 20 pills of whatever the owner has. And that's a serious, obvious problem. Once again, these containers don't stop dogs at all.
No.
That's one. The other type of problem that we have with human medications will be where people intentionally give it to their animals because they don't understand the potential risks. So if you take cats, for example, there's no non-steroidal anti-inflammatory out there. That means ibuprofen, aspirin, Celebrex, any of those. All of them extremely toxic to cats. There's basically no safe dose for them. Tylenol is another one. You'd think, well, how about Tylenol? That should be safe. In cats, it will cause tremendous liver damage. Dogs tolerate these better than cats, but once again, those, all that I mentioned, are pretty dangerous. The aspirin may have low doses that are safe, but you need to check with a veterinarian before you give anything like that. In general, we recommend against aspirin. There are safer veterinary versions out on the market that can be given.
Okay. Cats don't usually want to eat poisons. Are there other things a cat, you know, might be dangerous, that would be dangerous to them?
Number one for cats are what we call linear foreign objects. Simply, another word for it would be string, ribbon, dental floss, thread, yarn. Everybody thinks about the kitten playing with the yarn. It's cute, but that yarn, as it goes out, the kitten will start to eat it, and it's like the proverbial thing with a spaghetti where you just keep going down, down, down. Get this long, long yarn, long thread, goes all the way down, and often it'll knot in the stomach and get stuck. Then as it's passed down through the intestines bunch up on it until the intestines finally get sawed. And when you get sawed through, it's one of the most difficult surgeries to do to correct these linear foreign objects. A lot of cats die from this. A lot of dogs do too, because they'll do the same sort of thing. Mm-hmm. But this is one that actually cats will do. Strings for hair.
Strings for hair.
You know, anything like that. And it seems that it doesn't matter what the taste is to these cats because it's so exciting to have that little stringy thing that they get to play with and swallow.
Yeah. You know, we're going to take a break. Great questions we had, and you know, we're going to be joining with Carrie Peterson from All They Need Is Love. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Pet Talk with Dr. Lee. We're joined once again with Carrie Peterson from All They Need Is Love.
Hi, how are you?
Very well, and yourself?
Good.
Good. Last time you were on the show, you discussed your mission and your goal. Mm-hmm. And tell us about that again.
We're a foster-based rescue right here in the South Jersey area, meaning all the dogs pretty much live in our homes so they can get training and proper care before they get adopted out. And so we can match them up with the right families.
Okay, and yeah, I know you last time you brought a whole bunch of nice, interesting pets on.
Winston and Winnie and Tommy and Gina.
Tommy, Gina, and all like that. Great cats, great dogs.
They the cats got adopted together.
Oh, good.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Very nice.
Good. How long did it take? Process?
2 days.
2 days. That was good.
Wow.
Yeah. Somebody saw them and fell in love, so it was great.
Good. Good. Now I see you have some canines here today. Mm-hmm. Now, before we see the canines, I have a question. Canine, where's that come from?
That's a good question. I've never thought about that.
Never thought about that.
Never thought about that.
All right, I was just thinking about that. Okay, we'll have to do it for next episode. All right. So who do we have today?
This is Benji. She was found on the streets of Philly.
Okay.
She is about 2 or 3 years old, and just a crazy terrier kind of mix. She's lovable. She's great with other dogs, cats, kids, and everything. So, and she really just wants to be in your lap giving you kisses.
Good, good. She seems like a sweet dog. She's cuddling with you and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And how old did you say she was?
She's probably between 2 and 3.
2 and 3? Mm-hmm. And is she a mixed breed?
Yeah, we have no idea. We're just going to call her a terrier mix.
Terrier mix.
So that's what we kind of see the most in her, and she likes her little dress.
Dr. Lee, any questions, interject?
She looks like she's part angel, this dog. I mean, she's got sweet written all over her face.
She is.
I hope she finds a really loving home, because this dog is really sweet.
She will.
Yeah.
And do we have any more animals?
Yeah, we have 2 more dogs.
Okay.
So I will send Benji on her way.
Seems like a precious dog.
Yes.
Like the apron.
Now we have Callie coming up.
Now, what kind of dog is Callie?
Callie's a pit bull.
Okay.
So mix. She's about 3 years old. She's housebroken, crate trained, loves kids. And she knows a whole bunch of tricks. So she knows sit, bang, bang, where she'll fall on the floor. She knows fetch, roll over. So she has pretty much all the tricks down, but she would need to be an only animal.
Okay. How old is she?
She's about 3.
She's about 3?
Mm-hmm.
And why did her owners give her up?
She was a stray that was found and brought into the shelter, which then we've got. And so we've had her in foster for about a year. I've done a lot of work with her.
Now, is Callie a pet that a family with small kids should adopt?
She loves children. She's around them all the time. Her one foster mom has a 2-year-old nephew that walks her. So she loves kids.
She seems playful.
Yes, she's very playful. She does. She'll bring it back.
She's too exuberant for other dogs or cats? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, she gets a little too excited with them. So, I mean, she does live with some others, but she just is meant to live alone.
Right.
Yeah. Seems like a pretty dog, and she's loving and
oh, yeah.
very excitable.
So.
Okay, did you want to bring on your...
Yeah, and we have one more to bring.
Thirdly.
This is Ethel.